Coffee said gratitude is a must, yeah. Blessings fall for me right, bang, bang. Oh, that thing at work. And I'm a thing, you know. So I walk and drop down on a hole. You know what time it is. Oh, I go on farmer. Was Papa locking? You know what I'm saying? I know, I enjoy the great outdoors of lately, you know. Decided today that it's a nice day to get a little stroll in. Bust a one sweat. You know what I mean? Tracy Christie morning, we say hopeful and grateful. Gotta big up everybody that always support the movements, you know. I just felt like soaking in some nature in the morning, yeah. And see what I go on. Been reading a lot of posts on industry questions, and you know, there was an interesting post, I think it was Lloyd Stanberry that post talking about why, you know, just the usual convo, the state of the music. And there were comments in there as to how reggae music itself not necessarily embraced by the Black American community. Whereas to me, it's a lot more of the American community, period. You know, and people would say, well, artists do well in the US. Yep, in little pockets, and well is pretty relative. You know, and then you have segmented regions that have their own fan base and whatnot. So I always wonder, are there really answers out there for these things, or just voices? You know, sometimes we have questions and no answer. What go on, Marjorie? What go on, Marjorie? It's the sun is shining and the rain is falling. Boy, but I call it rain for me, because I don't want to get wet up out here, you know, to go already. But I don't know, Tracy, you're in Canada, so when we talk about the music, you know, there's always the diaspora that love the music and support the music, you know. We're talking about little pockets, the diaspora, South Florida, New York, London, Toronto. I can't even say Canada, Toronto. We support the thing. Listen, Jonah, why I didn't call you to walk? Listen, here's the thing now. Me, I'm a beast, sexy chocolate, you know what I mean? So when I'm walking, I be walking like 5,000 miles. I'm on my way to North Carolina right now. I gotta walk there and come back later on, you know what I mean? That's just how my exercise is. So I don't want to put no pressure. I don't know who can handle. You know, I joke me I make. You want to see me I drop down in about 5 minutes? I joke me I make here. I joke me I make. But, you know, what up, Sultry? The thing for me is, you know, when we talk about music and we talk about support, because I've had this conversation on my show before, and while people understood it, there are some people who don't get it, and I don't think they want to get it. Oh, I go on, Nadine. What up, my UK Massive? Esther Selector, love you. What's up? Amsterdam's in the building. You know, but I think sometimes the people who love and are passionate about reggae music, we take things a certain way when the truth comes out. And I always wonder to myself, was this reggae thing designed to be as lucrative as we'd love it to be? As widespread as we'd love it to be? Was it designed for that? And again, it's just a question. That's not my answer. Was it designed for all of that? Right? I've heard people say all the time, the content of the music is what probably makes it not as widespread and appealing. And I have always agreed with that. Listen, Jonah, you might crop my style, pickups along the way. One thing I know is that talking and walking will make the walk easier. And you make me run out of breath quicker too. If you see me drop a girl, I go lie and tell them say I push up me, but I faint, you hear? If you see the phone drop on my fall, in 2 hours I'm going to get up and say, woo! Was doing them press-ups, man, them push-ups was tight. But I faint. But it's all good. But you know, again, when we talk about the music, I am comparing it to any other major genre because I feel like music is music, and one music being mainstream versus the other is just how much exposure it get and how much is promoted and how much is gonna sell. But as far as the music, I think our expectations and our ceilings might be in a different place. I have always felt like the content of this music here has always been a part of the issue. Now I saw somebody comment, and I don't say names, so that's why you always hear me saying somebody. Somebody had commented that the content, talking about the poverty and all them things, is something that this culture, this African American culture, don't really embrace. And I agree, even though the African American culture and hip hop culture talks about the poverty too. But I think the difference is they talk about poverty as a starting ground and then ascending to wealth. And then all of a sudden the artists don't know what poverty is again. You know what I mean? All the artists know about now is wealth. And then they start talking about cars and millions and stuff. And, when it comes to our thing now, we just, the struggle is the predominant theme in our music. So is it true? Is that what is so unappealing about the music? Then people will say, well, some of the things that people will find unappealing too is probably the violence in the lyrics. But then we can always say hip hop became mainstream off of violence in the lyrics. So is that in itself true? You know what I mean? Then we have a bunch of people sing a bag of love song, and that's a positive thing. And R&B is based on love songs, and R&B is successful. So how come our love song them not as successful and not cross the borders and cross over and do what it's supposed to do? Is it quality assurance? Is it the audio? Is it not properly done? What is it? Anybody have any idea? I personally feel, say, when it comes to reggae music, let me see. I'll go and select a C. Let me see. Joanna Marie, Dedina, what's up? Much love to you. To David, what's going on? Let's see me run the next mile or two. You probably wouldn't see me pop up again on this live for another year or two, trying to survive that. You know what I mean? Again, I'm a physical specimen. I'm a beast. But I don't think the phone could keep up with me running those 2 miles. It's not me, no. I can handle. But I don't think the battery life on the phone, I don't think the shock absorption on the phone could keep up with me running the 2 miles, because I don't run 2 miles. I sprint 2 miles. I'll tell you, I'm a physical specimen. It's just, I'm a beast. You know what I mean? Sex is what I do. This is just, it's chocolate right here. Hershey. As a matter of fact, Highgate. So I don't want to pressure the phone. I don't want to pressure the thing. You know what I mean? Kill you, try kill me, you know. Kill you, try kill me. But it's all good. Message in the music. Well, so okay, seriously, Christy. So you said message in the music, right? Let's talk about that. The truth be told, the only other message, the only other music that you can deem message music is gospel music, you know. R&B talk about love, but is that really message? Because every other music can talk about it too, right? So is that what we're talking about? Then everybody have to go resort to love songs, right? So the thing is, we talk about message in the music as being the dominant force or contributor to success within the music. But the question is, outside of reggae music and gospel music, which other genre is considered message music? None. So is that what David, when I laugh after me in a David foot? You know some things, you know I'm a physical specimen. You know something, I'm going to get them to you saying, you want me run off? I'm going to be running too fast, I'm not going to be able to see me. You understand? So, it's like when you have pocket rocket. Big rocket, them call me. Big rocket. You know what I mean? So, but Message in the music. Let's go back to the one that Tracy Christie. Message in the music. I've had conversation. I want you to think about the music that has been successful outside of reggae music. Right? They were simple music, you know. Any music that I've ever heard come out that was too deep, the message was too strong, and so forth. Truthfully, that music that was never ever commercially successful. Right? Most of the songs that you've heard that were very successful were simple songs, simple chords, simple lyrics, fun music. Not really said too much, to be perfectly honest with you. Right? It's a door run. But that's what takes me back to saying, was reggae music ever created to be that? Two things. Was reggae music created to be message music? Is that what it is? And secondly, was reggae music ever created to be commercially successful? And every time we talk about something like that, people will go back to Bob Marley and speak of the success of Bob Marley. Which, truth be told, majority of Bob Marley's success is posthumous, right? After death, right? Tracy Christie, have no faith in me, am I running? You ain't right. You ain't right. So majority of Bob's success is posthumous and it came after, right? Who else in the reggae music we're going to do him commercially successful? And when I say commercially successful, let's look at this. Whomever we deem our most successful artist, if we put them up on a scale against a moderately successful artist in another genre, are they on the same plane? Is the success similar? Right? Is the weight on the scale of success similar? Probably not. Now, personally, what have I spent? I buy music. That's one thing I will say. Some things people afraid to talk about a lot, and I'm not going to shy away from, is your marketplace. Your marketplace, right? Let's just call a spade a spade. I'm not dropping an album this year, so I couldn't care less. I can say whatever I want to say. The reggae fans are shitty, right? Reggae fans want to hear a tune every day, and they want to hear a big tune, and they want to put up lighter, but them don't want to spend 99 cents. Right? And when the concerts come to town, they don't necessarily go. Right? So G. Cole is not putting out an album this week, so I don't have to be nice. So reggae fans, shitty. Right? With 3 T's in it. Shit-t-t-t-t-t-t. Right? So the thing go. That's half the problem. Now, yes, we can put it on the creation of the music and so forth. Because there's something called happy music. Feel-good music. Think about the outside of a Bob. Because while Bob music is feel-good music, some would say, it is more so message music than it's even feel-good music. The message supersedes the feel-good vibe. Because on every Bob Marley song feel-good. But every one of them have message in it. Right? Tracy said, Joanna Marie said, stop now and do some stretches so you don't get cramps. Joanna Marie, I think you haven't heard what I said. I am a physical specimen, right? I am a beast, all right? This right here is a well-oiled machine. I can get up out of my sleep, run the 15 miles, no stretch, no water, take a shower, go back to sleep and wake up forgetting that I did the run. That's just me. And not everybody be like G. Cole. G. Cole's a... I dropped my mic. G. Cole's a physical specimen, right? Like me saying, everybody can manage. But no, I don't have no water. The paramedics are on standby though. Keep it on the low. Keep it on the low. But Tracy said reggae is full of message and it's a choice to listen to it. But isn't every music a choice to listen to though? How many things do we do in life besides breathing, before being born, before outside of breathing and outside of dying? How many things do we do that's not a choice? Everything else is a choice. So the music that we choose to listen to is a choice, right? The question really is, why is it that it struggle to connect with even the people who we think are our own, right? Because at the end of the day, let's just call a spade a spade. The African American community and the Caribbean community is not the same community by far, right? Marlon said, broad scope. This is a good topic for industry insiders to sit down and discuss. Specifically, no genre does the volume of message music like reggae. Exactly. And the truth of the matter is, that's probably the reason why the youth them stop putting message on the music too, because the message has not been successful. Marlon, so marketplace is a huge part of the problem. We don't buy in the volume of other genres. For real. For real. So let's say you were creating a business in the same format of reggae music is a business, right? So if you were creating a business and you were doing your marketing research and you found out that this is the market that you would be catering to, would you go into that business? Would you create that product? Right? Morning, Mish. You see, the thing is, a lot of time the eyes that look on, here's what the difference is. The difference is where you're coming from to where you're hoping to go. Morning, morning, Empress. You see me outside in the nature, I get me sexy on. Me tell my wife this, and I said the minute me look down and say 1 pack, you know. Me not need a 6 pack, you know. But once me say 1 pack, me now buy 1 more shirt, you know. Not 1 more. I'll church me, I go without shirt, you know. Straight up. You know what I mean? Once me say 1 pack, then me change my name from my driver's license to Sexy G. And when me say road, road. No shirt, no shirt. You understand? All of my pants are my Euro cut. You understand? Well, so I make it go on there, so. But, Empress Unit, much love. It's all about expectations. And here's the thing. If you come from nothing, absolutely nothing, then success to you is just being better off than where you are right now. Being able to feed your family. Right? And then the whole concept of wealth. Sometimes people don't even know. People have a little change in their pocket and think them rich. And then them get to look a bit rich and them serious and them wealthy. When truth be told, and that's how the thing go. Right? But, again, let's look at some R&B. People even relegated to them to what we call neo-soul. Thank you, Emperor. Cheryl was popping. What do you say? May we take the shirts. Yeah, but there's a sexy thing in it. Them can't touch we, you know. We are the sexies, you know. Cool, no, man. Right? Sexy with about 9x a night. Sexy. Right? Empress, love me. But look at it this way. In the R&B, or let's not generalize it. Let's just say American music, right? We have the neo souls and we have our artists. Like you have the music soul childs of the world, right? You have the India Aries of the world, right? You have a whole bunch of artists who, realistically speaking, would never be considered mainstream, overly pop successful artists, right? But they're good. They are good. Them can do them thing, survive off of the music, do what they're doing because it generates that much, right? So that's their average artist. And people say, no, I'm not disrespect the artist, I mean, but the reason why I can't say average for a music or so forth is because there's an Usher that exists. There's a Tyrese that exists, right? There's a Justin Bieber that exists, right? We talk about, you know, how you gonna say your India Aries of the world are just a medium average. They're average because Alicia Keys exists, because Beyonce exists, all right? So we're not being disrespectful. We just rationalize the thing, right? But artists don't have to be stars in other genres to do well. But in reggae music, you do. In a reggae music, you have to be the top 1% to actually be saying you're doing well. And you can take care of what you're supposed to take care of. Right? And I'm saying so because I have conversations off record with friends who are artists and just artists that I've met and developed a relationship with. A good friend of mine said to me once that what an artist is, and he was referring to reggae artists and reggae musicians. So you know what an artist or a musician is without a wife? Homeless. Homeless. Majority of the balancing out of that good life that is visually shown is balanced off by the other half. Right? Tracy says, I'm in the reggae business, and if you're looking to get rich, you never will. Cool. I agree. But and when I say rich, don't get me wrong, I'm not putting so much of the onus and so much of the goal on the financial part of it, but just durability, viability, being able to make it your all. Because at the end of the day, most of us who have other means of income, can't speak on behalf of nobody else, but we're not rich. I know I'm not, right? But I'm all right. Right? I'll be cool when I retire. I live comfortably. If I'm sick, I can go to the doctor. If somebody from me falls sick, I can do that. If I need to support a cause, I can. Right? If something happen, I'm all right. Until, you know how the thing's set up already. All it takes is a little bit of ill health for everything you have to be drained. But at the end of the day, I'm saying, why can't the artist be there in the same spot? Because remember, we think about the artist and the money that they make on a show. But how much shows them do for the year, especially now, versus the average person who's working a 9 to 5? I did a comparison with regular folks and the average people. Let's say you make 60 grand a year, and then you're maybe your dual income, right? So your family, say as much as an artist will charge a certain amount for a show, the expenses that come along with being that artist and being that brand, a lot of time, if that artist don't have somebody, a separate person that balance off the thing, they don't have 70 grand to show for it at the end of the year. Well, go on, Pedro. Pedro said 20 years ago, when you see an artist, you would see a cross-section of people. Go to see an artist today, it's only a Jamaican artist inside the concert. I am talking about Orlando and dancehall artists. They are only doing music for their friends. Now, you said that right there, son? A gospel that, that conversation I've had recently too. Who is your market? You're doing the music for your friends. So whomever is in your circle, hype you up and say, yo, tune bad, tune nice. And here's the crazy thing about it. Sometimes the tune nice. Sometimes it's not. There's two things going on here. One, sometimes some people just support you because they are your friend. What up, Claudia? How you doing? And then some other people don't know better. Remember, if you are the artist, you're the talent of the bunch, So you're more talented than them. So even when you're doing something that by industry standard is mediocre, to them it's exceptional. Right? And then you have what they call this, the immediate circle of people who you are trying to get you forward from. You want, when you send out your music, your friend them say bad. But how you going to gauge the thing is this: have they ever said nah? From all the time you've been sending music to your friends, have any of them ever said, nah, this not work? No, they consistently say bad. Now, I'm going to put myself in the position. I personalize it right now. I have some producers in Jamaica that send me music all the time. And when them send me the music and I like it, Ezra say it all the time, you can see it. I'll play it. I'm not on the promo team, but sometimes I will send out a video clip of me playing it, because that's just my energy, and a lot of times the shows that I'm doing are being recorded, so I can cut a clip and send it out. A brother sent me a tune couple months ago. I have not responded to it. Maybe a year ago, haven't responded. And he sent it again a couple months, I haven't responded. Sent it again yesterday and said, hey, can you do this and that and that? And my response was no. The response was no. Why? Because I'm not feeling it. You're asking me to send you the thing of the song just to promote the thing, but I can't be ingenuine. I mean, not say a song now go big and it now go bust, but because I am not feeling it, I'm just being honest with you. And I'm sure if I played it for y'all, you probably wouldn't be feeling it too. But what I gather from the song and even from the producer is that they are targeting a certain audience, which is their immediate circle. Them want to hear bam, bam, bam. It bad. What some people need to do is, one, stop take feedback from people who don't consume the product. All right? All of my brethren will sell cars, for example. All right? What business you have a take feedback from somebody who not a driver's license and not a bike car? Does it matter what they say? If them tell us, boy, I don't fit to do it, but them not buy car and them not drive, is that feedback really relevant? What was the last vehicle they bought? Well, but not a license, then what you talk for? All right? Speak to the people who are consuming the music. No. I hear music that I buy music and I download music and I stream music. And I'm not telling no lie. Majority of the recent music that I have consumed and streamed and whatever the case may be, I just happy, feel good music when we can sit down. People listen to music in them headphones a lot nowadays. Sometimes on the radio. Sometimes if you like me in the backyard and you're by the pool and you create a playlist and you just a chill, or you're in the house or cook and you have to listen to some music, what are you listening to? A lot of the music I've been listening to are from folks in California, folks in New Zealand, Fiji, I'm talking about, you know what I mean, the J Boogs of the world, Analia Browns of the world, Sammy Johnsons, you know what I mean, Moana, a lot of the bands, because it's just the chords sound good, they feel good. The message sounds good, it just feel good. Me no want to hear one more tune about bad man and take away your girl and my gun big. Me no want to hear none of that. To be perfectly honest with you, me no want to hear no girl that tell us that me can take on nobody man. Me no want, me done, me tired of skin out tune right about now. Ladies are giving me feel back in the day. Right? And the truth is, even the people who, if you talk to the lady stars of the world, the skin out tune them never said like that. Right? Marlon say I run into this issue all the time. Empress, you're the best. Reggae music is, Newton says, reggae music is not what it was. The target is only 1% of the crowd. The powers that be are destroying the music by enticing the fools down the road of destruction. Right? Mari, I love listening to Lovers Rock. You see what I talk about? Now, here's the thing. Let's go to what Newton said now. Because when we talk about things, sometimes we have to be real, you know. And there are lots of isms that plague our minds and we don't realize it. We talk about racism, classism, and a whole bunch of other things, right? One thing is ageism too, right? And the other thing, your generationism, which what it is pretty much is we hold on to a generational thing. So right now, when we talk about the music is not what it was, we have to be careful because at the end of the day, to some degree, the music better. And it's not that the artists and whatever were better. It's just that evolution has taken its course. Technology has gone. It's now cheaper to get quality. Now get me wrong. The cheap has become an issue because it's cheaper. People put out foolishness because they can do it for cheap and for free. But what it used to cost to get a song to sound a certain way, it don't cost that anymore. So right now, there's a certain sound. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Cottage in the Grill is sacred to me. Sacred to me by Tyrone Taylor. That song, Cottage in the Grill, sacred to me. And I play it, and then I play Dwayne Stevenson's Cottage in the Grill, which is also sacred to me. And I've heard people say all the time, no man, the Tyrone Taylor version. And the truth is, it's the generational and sentimental attachment to it and the originality of it. And the fact that, you know, we do set our bars on our shelves and we put things on a shelf and we never will allow something else to surpass it. Now, am I saying that the Dwayne Stevenson one is better? Absolutely not. It has a brighter sound. It's a bolder sound. The mix and everything. Sonically, it's better. Feel, delivery, you can't beat Tyrone Taylor. Voice, you can't beat Tyrone Taylor. But sonically, it is a better product. Just because they were able to, it's been years and years later. And what they can accomplish now with a lot less, they did. Right? So when I listen to the two, objectively I can say, sentimentally, I'm attached to the Tyrone Taylor version. But no disrespect. The Dwayne Stevenson, if you were to put it on a scale on weight, quality, audio, sonics, the Dwayne Stevenson version is better. So I'm saying all of that to say, as we herald the past and hold on to the history and the legacy, some great things were, some excellent stuff, some of the best stuff came out in between then and now. The She's Royals of the world and songs like those came out in the post era of what we call greatness, right? Because when we think of greatness, we're thinking about Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, and we think about the Jimmy Cliff era, Dee Brown. And of course, I said that with so much respect because Dee Brown is my favorite artist of all times, right? Well, let's drop some ratings on some things right about now. The Romain Virgos of the world, Christopher Martins of the world, the D Majors of the world, the Sugars of the world, Tessan Chins of the world, right? All them artists there. The quality works that they drop when they do drop it is right up there with all them things. It's just a different time. It's a different time. The climate's different. A lot of Bob's music had the impact that it had because of the climate. Everything works. Vaccine, the COVID vaccine would not have been so necessary 3 years ago because there was no COVID. Right? Right? There was a time when Whole Foods couldn't open because people weren't so health conscious and talking about living a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Newton, exactly my point. The quality is better, the feel is not. But I said that to say, a lot of time people feel like it's blasphemy to say stuff like that. So we have to give when it comes to the production and the sonic output, we have to give credence where it's due, right? But at the end of the day, we're still trying to figure out what is the reason. Why do we need to just accept and say, well, reggae don't really sell like that, right? Hybrid cars don't really sell like that, believe it or not, When they came up with hybrid cars, people thought it was going to be amazing and it was going to be a game changer. Hybrid cars didn't really sell like that. Timing. Now we're in the Tesla age. We're in the clean energy age. And Tesla is there putting out strictly electric cars and other auto manufacturers. So now hybrid cars are selling more, because for those people who want to hold on to the gas vibe but still want to be in the clean energy vibe, then can go jump on a hybrid. It goes back to the fact that timing is everything. So at the end of the day, a lot of our favorite artists, legends or no legends, benefited from the era. And unfortunately, life and times have gone to a point right now where it ain't so much about, it's flossing time right now. Or it was. COVID can make everybody look on things differently. But flossing time, people talking about materialism and just fun and this and that. So when we talk about the message is going to be different. If there's no need for a revolution, there might not be a need to sing about it. Right? The question is there a need for one? So Newton said lyrics is gutter. Marie said Lloyd Brown, I love. Right? The diaspora can keep certain things afloat, but only so much. A perfect example is this. Do the math and do the research. One of our most successful lovers rock artists is Beresford Hammond. One of our most successful artists, Beresford Hammond. And I'm sure if you should ask Beres, that success largely is owed to the diaspora. Right? Nobody, the diaspora love Beres like no other. Let me tell you something. If Bob Marley came from the grave right about now, just because we don't see him in a long time, the concert would have outsell the Beres. But if anybody had a concert in the diaspora area, in a South Florida, in a London, in a Toronto, in a New York, and Beres is over there, right? And your biggest legendary artist is over there on the other side, Beres is getting more sold out because Beres has a connection with the diaspora like no other. But can anybody else depend on the diaspora? Beres have a hold in the diaspora and the diaspora love him. Right? But that's not the only market. And we're trying to figure out where is the other market and why we can't connect with it. What is the reason? Now, part of the thing we probably need to pre is this. R&B and hip-hop is music. It belongs to the artists and the fans. It don't belong to the government and the culture. Right? That's the difference. Reggae music, on the other hand, it's almost like it belongs to Jamaicans and the culture. Saying all of this to say, if reggae music belongs to, is a byproduct of, is a seed of, and is definitely a representation of the culture, then what if the culture is not branded correctly? For those people who can't embrace the culture and can't embrace Jamaica for whatever reason, and not going to embrace the reggae music either. So Jamaica has been branded to many as a violent place, as a place of squalor sometimes. People not realizing, say, people in Jamaica live a lot better than people here. When I moved to the US and I saw certain things, I was like, wow. You know what I mean? I felt like I regressed. Because, believe it or not everybody in Jamaica is suffering. But it's painted a certain way. So the music comes across as the sufferer's music, I'm going to call it, right? And it's a land of poverty and it's a land of violence and whatever the case may be. That's not commercial. That's not commercial. So realistically, is everybody going to gravitate to that? Is everybody going to grab onto that? And again, it goes back to reggae music is not just for the artists. It belongs to, it's a representative of the culture. So if you misbrand and mismanage the culture, then you're misbranding and mismanaging reggae music. Right? So unfortunately, no matter what going on in the Jamaican and the American political scene, Trump could do all the way he want to, Biden do all the way he want to. It does not affect R&B music and hip-hop music. Right? But the politics in Jamaica affects reggae music. Right? What's going on in the culture here, if the hoods are even a mainstream America, there's violence and there's drugs and there's this and there's that, That does not dictate the music and how the success or failure of it is. But in Jamaica, it does. Brand Jamaica affects brand reggae because brand reggae is brand Jamaica. Right? Empress said he puts out quality music that doesn't lose its substance. Lifetime music. That's exactly what it is. But truthfully, let's use if Barry says the bar, Barry says is the measuring stick, and he puts out quality music that lasts a lifetime. Let's just be realistic about it. He's not the only one that's doing it. So is there just room for one? Is the budget of the of the consumer just enough for one? Right? There are multiple, and we're not talking about the figures now, because truth be told, America is a way bigger place, Canada is a way bigger place, so there's just way more artists. But when you think about it, there's more music being coming out in Jamaica every day than most other places, because our culture has also been watered down. So what happened pretty much is, you get a DJ, you get radio, a song today, and by tomorrow they're gonna ask you what the new thing is. They don't do that in most other genres. Newton said the majority of dancehall is steeped in slackness, which is shunned by the majority, but loved by the few that fuel the style. This is destroying the thing. That right there is gospel to me. Not telling a lie. That's gospel. But then that means the people who are responsible for the marketing are stupid and they're not qualified to do what they do. Because again, the audience that you refer to, are they buying the music? Can we say, I mean, I know we're the originators, you know. We are the originators, and I think a lot of times that's what the problem is. That sentimental, that patriotic vibe and approach where we say, yo, our thing. But are other people doing our thing better than we? Are they? Are other people doing our thing better than we? Possibly, no. Possibly. Again, it's all about equilibrium, and I don't see much. A lot of time people talk about the music as derogatory. I don't see it as derogatory. I see it as might not be age appropriate for some. It might not be for children, right? Might not be for you, might not be for me. Because at the end of the day, my favorite rapper of all time is Tupac. Check his catalog, right? Hit him up, right? Who shot you? Me kill them. A bagger, shut up. But he's the same one that says, keep your head up. Dear mama. And all that. So it's about equilibrium. Balance out the thing. Right? And for every Snoop that was doing gangster rap, there was Common. Right? But, and trust me, you had the Lukes of the world, and you had the whole 2 Live crew, right? And you have a lot of hip hop artists that did a lot of slackness though. One of the biggest selling R&B artists of all times is R. Kelly. Who's slacker than R. Kelly? But there is equilibrium. It balance. Thing is, we don't do balance well. We overindulge and we overdo and we overconsume. So again, the point of this all is, no matter how long we sit and we talk about it, can we really come up with an answer and a reasoning as to why these things are happening? Why we not succeed? Can we? And the other thing pretty much is, believe me, I can say this freely, because majority of who you think successful, not successful, them are right. But see, COVID come right about now and throw a monkey wrench on the program for a year and a half, 2, and many people are on their face. Right? No. Come back you soon, they don't know. But I'm going to go to another thing to where I think research needs to be done by artists. Here's what research needs to be done by artists. This is just me. Artists, when you're putting your effort and your work into thing, listen to the other things around you. Me personally, I have a lot of stuff that will never see the light of day. And the reason why it will not see the light of day is because I'm not that thrilled with the production part of it. And when I say production, it doesn't necessarily mean instrumentation. You know. It means just the sounds, the end product, the mix, the mastering, the whole 9. When I listen to it compared to other stuff I've done, or compared to the other stuff that's coming out, it not really up to par. But a lot of times people are going to release them thing anyways, because they've already invested the money and the time and the effort into doing it. Sometimes we need to hold on to some things. I'm a big Sizzla fan. Up until Soul Deep, I think everything that Sizzla did was golden. That was the most prolific artist. The catalog was beyond the compare. But then we saw probably 10 years of just releases that watered down the catalog. Now, don't get me wrong. No matter what him do, the real life thing is still the real life thing. Black woman and child is still black woman and child. Praise Ejai is still praise Ejai. Right? Right? All of them albums, they are still what they are. But the oversaturations of inferior quality music have negated the value of the catalog. Right? So if Sizzla, to me, that is just my opinion. If Sizzla did stop at Soul Deep, to me, the value of that catalog would have been so much more than it is today. Boy, Pedro said, what about all those guns in the video? John, no, brother. You know what's funny? That's a part of the problem too. A major part of the problem. But here's the thing. You know, so the reality of it is, those people that are doing a lot of that stuff, they don't see them way out, you know. Them start do something for enjoyment, you know. Right? So it's not like, so you have the wrong people influencing people. Because a lot of those people, because some of those guns aren't even real. So it's just about imagery. We've had situations where artists get shut down on a video shoot, police come in, and the gun them not real. But it is so important to them to show out an image of gun and violence. Now remember, the music is a representation of what people know and sit to, you know. If a man don't know nothing about love and him sing about love, he can't connect. I'm not saying he might not be a bad person, but he loves. And he is loved. So he knows what love is. Right? So when people are singing about what going on around them, sometimes we need to take a stop and say, I wonder if the issue is what's going on around us. In terms of what coming out in the video. But Pedro, trust me when I say, when I see those videos sometimes, it is so disheartening. If you see one bag of gun in a video, even if them not real, these people find it so important to depict violence. What go on, David? Big up yourself, you know. Alright. Good for see the eye. Realtor extraordinaire. Newton said history dictated that hip-hop followed reggae. Now reggae dancehall is copying hip-hop. This is wrong. Huh? You know, again, we go back to that patriotism thing that where we talk about, you know, reggae, I mean hip-hop coming from reggae and all them things there. Great. And the reason why I can't go by the content is, and listen, look at it this way. A lot of people who are in corporate America or corporate Jamaica, you realize that half of your marketing team is to spy on other people and see what's making them successful. Not very many people are doing things that are just them do. And if you come up with something original, somebody else is going to be doing the same thing very soon. Right? Because it is what sells. So, hip-hop has done some things that have made it successful. And reggae and dancehall are trying to follow. But what they haven't processed is, it's not the music and the content that made hip-hop successful. It's the supporters and the buying public. Right? Now, we don't have that same buying public market. And there's a misconception to a lot of dancehall artists that when they put out their hip-hop influence and inspired music, that true hip-hop lovers like it. No, they don't. I have never heard that hip-hop influenced artists dropping stuff and true hip-hop heads give it ratings. Now, may use hip-hop influenced because there are some artists out there who them flow is very hip-hop influenced, but they're not vacating them dancehall roots at all. And you're talking about people like a Kabaka. Because at the end of the day, you know, you see when dancehall artists and so forth do hip hop, there's no medium ground in it. It's either bad or it's whack. Right? Kabaka Pyramid, bad. Right? When I say bad, bad. I cannot think of another. That's just me. People say protege, but I don't even see protege. Protege does have a style. I don't see protege as doing hip hop tinged music. I don't. But realistically speaking, for the most part, I think these artists are doing what they love, and we have to give them that. The artists are human beings. Sometimes they're bored. Them no want to sing about the same thing every day. I've seen that in like a Taurus Riley. I've seen that in like I Acting, whatever the case may be. Sometimes I just have to say, maybe I'm bored because, you know, when you say acting come to the studio, that's why I always laugh with I Acting at acting. You always are complaining and I play pure old acting. Because those songs connect with me and connect with most of my artists. And most of the audience. But at the end of the day, they are human beings too, and sometimes they're bored and they want to do something else. You know what I mean? You want to do something in your job too. You don't want to sit down in the same department all of your career. You know what I'm saying? But it goes right back to what we're saying originally. When a hip-hop artist does it, doesn't matter because it's just about the artist. The country and the populace don't have ownership of it. They either like it or don't like it. But when it comes to reggae and dancehall music, it is so us that we have a say and we have a stake in it. And when an artist that you used to put out good music, put out something less than, it hurts our soul. It hurts our soul because our artists and our music and that reggae is us. You know what I mean? And it's us. You know, Empress says there's very few trendsetters now. There are more followers. Real deal. Marlon said they're singing about what they see and what's going on around them. I don't have a problem with that in and of itself. My issue is glorifying certain lifestyle. That's exactly it. Exactly it, brother. Glorification of negativity. And here's the funny thing about it. You see, if that negativity, this is just, again, looking at it from a business perspective. You see, if that negativity had been proven to have commercial success, if that negativity did show some people and say, yo, you know, so some man are wealthy after the negativity there, them would have depend, damn, it's disheartening, but I see why the youths them do it. But show me one. Show me the dancehall artist or whomever that does that straight negative music that rich. Because a man able to left Jamaica and move from a Coral Springs or move from a Pembroke Pines or move from Live don't mean say wealthy, you know. It means he married somebody or anti-finally filed for him. You understand? So, and then Instagram takes over and we just start posting some picture and make the thing look proper. Right? But again, from a commercial standpoint, if you said to me, listen, this is lucrative and this is what's popping, I wouldn't have anything to say. I would still be disappointed. It'd be very disheartening. But I would say I see why. But somebody, I challenge anybody to show me an artist where rich out of that. I challenge you. I am not in any artist's pockets, but if I'm going to assume financial and commercial success, I'm gonna set the tiers. I'm gonna say things like Shaggy, Sean Paul, Junior Gang. I'm just left it there. So I mean, there's more, but I left it there. So, right? I'm gonna say Junior Gang with the utmost respect because I'm basing it on his catalog and his works and his performance, not legacy here of his father and lineage, right? So to me, again, I don't in a no man pocket. I'm not the accountant, so I don't know, but I'm just drawing as a reference. If we were to say somebody or some artists that do well, those would be it, right? But they are not doing the negative music. They're not doing the violence music. They're not doing the illicit, explicit vibes. They're not doing it. So there is no data to prove and show that there is any success, right? I've always said that crime, the reason why crime continues, especially in Jamaica and other countries like that, is because it's a lucrative business. So me say that, right? While I wish it wasn't that way, but crime lucrative and a crime, believe me, them say crime not pay from a financial standpoint, people make money off of crime. But me not say nobody when we can really say a change life. And when me say change, me not talk about you get to do a one show, you can buy a one Corolla and show 2 rims on it and come back for the next 2 next month. No. Me talk about somebody who can change the life of them family. Them family's family. Right? Somebody who because of their work and their success, their children's children gonna be alright. That to me is success. Because like I said, many of the artists them who will say, yeah man, them do them thing. That's called a good Instagram appearing, right? A good Instagram appearance. Everybody does do a little thing, a regular thing and so forth and so forth. And then what happens pretty much is we just make sure that Instagram put out the right of things. Right? But I don't see where certain music generate the revenue for people to continue to do it. But again, we come back to our culture, reggae, dancehall, right? Reggae and dancehall. What can we do? And is there room for it to be as financially lucrative as any other genre? Is it? I always feel like love and peace and kumbaya music was never designed to generate revenue like that. Yes, you're going to get paid for your craft and it is your job, so you need to get paid for it. But I don't think it was designed with commercial viability in mind. That's what I always said to myself. But then before me done talk, I said to myself, said I want the gospel music, you know, so most gospel artists rich. Most gospel artists rich. So again, dissect, do the math, carry the one, minus that, and bring it back around. It's the market. It's the audience. And it sounds horrible to say it. It's like, I'm not trying to tell people, say, yeah, don't make music for Jamaica people. But again, send your marketing representatives out there. Are they buying the music? Right? I'm not telling you if I go try gain the white audience. But I'm just saying, economic viability. Is certain music selling? Now, here's the thing where people feel like, Jamaicans are some loving people, you know. Jamaicans are some loving people. The same man where we... Change that word there. The same man that will do you bodily harm for messing with his family and violating family will put him own self in a harm's way to help somebody at some point in time. Right? So, I not say people don't do bad things, but I'll say this. Jamaicans are some loving people, you know. As far as I'm from Ocho Rios, I'm from St. Anne. I not say bad man and bad people don't exist, but I know a lot of people. And from my vantage point, they're all great people. Right? All great people. So my thing is this. Why do we assume that the peace and love and kumbaya music, our people don't want to hear it too? Because a lot of time we assume that, well, if we make that music that the world is loving and the world is appreciating, then our people now gonna appreciate it. What make you think so? What make you think say our people? You know, says less people looking for the Bugoyaga. It's just louder than louder, you know. You see the people who listen good music and enjoy good music and good vibes and good energy, they're quiet people. And they're doing other things while they listen. So them just listen and enjoy. But you see, most of the people enjoy the negativity and the bangarang and the violence music. Them now nothing else to do. So they are very vocal on places like Instagram. You understand? Newton said the top 10 dancehall artists revered as is revered and slackness is their game. Top 10 in terms of what though? When you said top 10, explain to me. I mean, so-called successful are the people who we rate. Because a lot of people who we train out with top 10, me and Marlon had this discussion on an interview that on a conversation he and I had as far as who is really revered, right? And does their catalog warrant the reverence that they get? Nicky said the economics of reggae dictate lower cost in production, which attracts artists who just want a buzz. Quality is then gone out the window. Few reggae artists now are seeking a classic because these days a tune has a low shelf life. That is true, but what we also need to realize, Nicky, is this. It's the same thing with hip-hop and R&B. Don't get it twisted. Just because the Roots did it and Jay-Z did it following up the Roots, the live concept of hip-hop music is still very foreign. And much people not going to spend the money and invest in it because it's just not what they do. It's the same thing, but R&B artists cannot get away with going on the road to tracks all the time. Just not the same. It's the same thing with reggae and dancehall, right? Quality assurance, the quality control part of it. Reggae music, based on what it is, has to be represented with live music structure. The dancehall system does not necessarily have to do so because it's sound system and synthesized sounds. So you can get to it with it, and you're 100% correct. It's a lower quality in production. But the ears that are listening to dancehall music and the expectation is not expecting it to sound like reggae music. It's not. They're not. So the quality, the expectation of the audience is different too. You're right. You're very, very right. But the market now expect it to sound a certain way. Right? My battery's at 10%, so I gotta leave soon. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'm gonna be on tomorrow. Join me tomorrow. I'll pick up the reasoning, right? And I'm going to open up phone lines. And if people want to call in and give them view on their opinion, it'll be dope, right? Newton said contents of the lyrics is lacking. Very much so. Very, very, very much so. What I will do and say, though, is if we go back in time, again, we're attached to certain things for era. One, you know, we protect our era and our favorite time. I'm guilty of it too. 90s dancehall. My reverence and my adoration for 90s dancehall sometimes make it seem like the dancehall of today is not. Then nobody now make good music. When you have people like Sasko and those people making music, right? But the truth is, you know, if you really want to sit down and dissect the thing, the lyrics, yes, we had great lyricists back in the day, but a lot of people who we herald as great were not great lyricists. They were pioneers of the thing, so it was just starting. Right? It's like the first cars that came out. We look at them as the beginning. That's what started it, whatever the case may be. But are they comparable to the cars of today? No, they're not. No, they're not. But we talk about with 19 this and that and that and that care and whatever the case may be because we're holding on to that legacy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we've always had garbage music. We've always had garbage music, right? In terms of lyrical quality. But the difference now is a lot of time when it came to the music that we call derogatory and the language was not to be consumed by every and everyone, that was relegated to the dancehall space. You had to go in a specific space to hear it. Now, you just have to get up and somebody blasting it in their cars, somebody playing it on the radio, somebody played it in their household. So that's where the problem lies. It's like crack. It's like drugs, right? When the crack era came out, a lot of people never give a damn. They didn't care because it wasn't affecting their communities. But then it became almost mainstream and started coming on them doorstep now, and then all of a sudden it became a problem. It's the same thing with the dancehall music. Because a lot of people right now who complain about the quality of the dancehall music, they never complained about it before because it wasn't being played in their house by their children. You know what I'm saying? Pedro said the so-called run things artists don't sound good. Sasko is not class by himself, you see it? I ain't even got to say it too tough. So somebody else I said artist. And here's the sad part, Pedro. Here's what's sad about these things. Very sad. Anytime we talk about greatness, there's always only one or two people you can choose. And if you ask 20 people about greatness, they all point into the one person. Isn't it sad that greatness is relegated to such a small few? But if you just want to cross his music and crap, then guess what? It debout all the way. The thing that makes me the saddest when it comes to music, Jamaica have terms always say we're good artists. But the saddest thing for me is when we're good artists start release every foolishness because of Instagram and places like those. Because the loud folks, the people who will react to it are reactional people. The younger people, the people on Instagram who are thumbing on Instagram every day and I got comment on everything, I got hit fire and like, are the people who, the loud, I don't want to sound no way, but ignorance is loud. The people who appreciate good music, them are listening up. They're just not commenting. So because of that, you're good artists where you love, I put out bare foolishness because him get an Instagram hype and the following I go up. But it doesn't translate in concert goers and streams. Cartel drop album one day, Spice drop album the other day, Alkaline drop album the other day. All supposed to be the top names in a dancehall. Right? All supposed to be the top names in a dancehall. And the worst artists in any other genre outsell them by 400%. In any other genre, outsell them by 400%. That to me is a testimony. It's a testament that the foolishness don't sell. And pull up all of them artists there and look on them Instagram how much followers them have. Because the followers are just followers. And them loud. Right? The people who love it, who love good music, they'll come out. Because here's the thing. I know people who used to go out to see good music who don't go out to see it anymore because they feel like it's not there. You see the people who never used to go out to see music go listen to music in the first place in a live venue, they're not going out now even when you're putting out the bullshit. Right? Even when you put out the bullshit. Right? And people will say, well, people are coming on my show. Yeah, because you're in one club where only can take 200 people. Reggae artists and dancehall artists of old that were doing good music were selling out big stadiums. Right? Now, them tell the cameraman, say, just keep the camera up on the stage and the front of the show, right? So we can catch all of the people. And the artist say, oh no, come up front, energy. And then look and see a bag of people. But if the camera ever accidentally pan like a bit to the left and a little bit to the right, you realize that the place is empty. And the club only owned 200 persons anyway, right? So the truth is, the people who you're making the music for now are feel say you're making the music for right now. The loud people on Instagram are still not coming out to your shows for come see the thing. Right? But you're alienating the people who used to. And how me know that? Whenever Steel Pulse comes to town, the line wrap around the building. How me know? My band used to open for them. And when they came into town, we talked about Steel Pulse, the legendary Steel Pulse. Right? When them man they come on the line wrap around the building and they're still carrying it, that means the people were yearning and longing to hear that. I miss that. But then we have other artists who have put out one bag of rare jump on music on social media and 50 million followers. Right? But when you're coming at a place, nobody now coming to the venue. Sit back for a minute, spend some time, analyze, look at the analytics, right? People get hired and paid millions of dollars just for them things. I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen, because guess what? My time I run out. I think I've walked all the way to North Carolina now because of something. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a beast. I'm a physical specimen. You know what I mean? This ain't fat. This is soft muscle. Don't make nobody fool you. You understand? Sexy. Sexy like a mug. Right? So, if my battery ain't got dead, I'd be on here all day because it's walking. I do. Just lick my light, none thunder, come here to lie. Anyways, I gotta run. Remember, tomorrow. As a matter of fact, do me a favor, everybody that's here. Go over YouTube real quick, type in Homegrown with G. Cole, subscribe to the YouTube channel because I have some content that's going to be going to YouTube that's not going to Facebook. All right? Much love, much respect. Sexy beast. I mean, G. Cole. Little more, all right? Don't me look like a Marvel character? Look like a Black Thor, not you? Just chiseled. God damn, watch out. No, sir. No, sir. Get out of here before, you know what I mean? Pedro say I'm not pay for no artist man tracks. John, no, me not blame you. And I guess some of them musicians that sound like tracks, they sound too right. Anyway, my brother, I got to roll. If I don't let you go, this battery's gonna. We link up a little more. Tomorrow, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I won't tell you who my guest is going to be, but it's going to be crazy. Nobody would buy down chart thing in a Newton because that thing are big. That's a whole other conversation, you know. A whole other conversation with these phony charts. Peace out. Much respect, y'all. Much love. Lick more.